Yo, what's going on, guys? Zuldazar here, and now I'm gonna try to make this video as short as possible while getting all the basic information out there. So this is a skinning and leatherworking guide for World of Warcraft and BFA. So for skinning, it's pretty straightforward. You kill mobs, you kill beasts, and you skin them. But there are certain spots that are better than others, but you can do this by yourself or in a 5-man group, or in a 2x4-man group, or in a 10-man group. Now the more people you are, the better it is, obviously, because you can kill more mobs and skin more mobs in a short period. So the more people you are, the better it is. But if you want to be a lone wolf and farm by yourself, that's fine as well. But you have to be okay with making less gold. So you can farm several different places. There are usually more farms in every single zone, but I'm just going to go through my 3 favorites. Now, bear in mind, 2 of these are nerfed, and I'm not sure if the third one is nerfed, but to begin with, we're going to go through 2 of them in Zuldazar. Now you can see some gameplay of me right now, farming one of my favorites, my all-time favorite actually, when it comes to skinning. So you kill quillrats? Yeah, you kill quillrats. That was a difficult thing to say. You kill quillrats in Zuldazar, and when I did this, when you can see right now on screen, I believe this is 2x4 or 1x5. It could be a 5-man group or 2x4, I'm not really sure. You can see on the screen right now, we're doing this, we're killing the quillrats, we have a monk tank, and I'm supposed to be healing, so I'm healing. And whenever I'm healing, I'm not really doing any damage or anything, so me taking the time to skin isn't gonna slow down my group. But imagine if a DPS did this, then pretty much the faster you kill the quillrats, the faster they respawn. So for a DPS to stop DPSing to skin would be really bad. But for a healer to skin, it's fine. But I'm trying not to skin that much to make people jealous or something, but I'm skinning every now and then, and I'm healing to keep people alive, and just making some extra profit by skinning. So by doing this, I can make roughly 50k plus per hour if I just skin and heal people, and skin and heal people, and just ignore the fact that people will be mad at me skinning. I think I made roughly 80k per hour when I did that for a couple of hours, and then people got mad, and I just stopped skinning and just focus on healing, but it's fine. So these are kind of the 2-man or the 2x4-man groups or the 5-man farms where you need other people to kill with you. There's another spot just north of this where you can kill deers in Zuldazar as well. Now you can still do this by yourself in these areas, but they don't have the hyper spawn anymore, so you can't really be in a big group and just kill thousands of mobs per hour. But if you're by yourself, then this should still be viable, because then you'll spend some more time killing, and you probably need some self-heals as well, because the quillrats, they hit kinda hard. But the deers you should be fine with, and also the third spot and the last spot that I'm gonna talk about, which is really good, is in Zuldazar. It's in the north, it's just southwest of the Nessingware's flight point in Zuldazar. So you just go there, you go southwest, and you should be able to see some eggs there. And when you stand on those eggs, there's several of them, you can just run in a loop from egg to egg and just keep spawning those hatchlings. Because if you stand on one egg for long enough, I think you just have to run by the egg. Then you spawn hatchlings, and you can kill those hatchlings, loot them, and skin them. Now the spot in Zuldazar is kinda unique, because sometimes there pops up a world quest. Now this goes for the quillrats as well. Sometimes there's a world quest with the quillrats to kill a boss, but it's just to kill the boss, so it doesn't really help you that much. But in Zuldazar, there's a world quest to kill these featherhead vipers, or what they're called. The twin head vipers, the featherhead vipers, those viper hatchlings, there's a world quest to kill them. So sometimes when you go there will be people killing them. And if you're on a high pop server, then there will be tons of people that are killing them. And if they're not skinning the mobs themselves, you can just ask them, can you please loot the mobs so I can skin them? And by doing that, you can basically stand there and skin 24/7 when the world quest is up. And you don't have to kill the mobs yourself, you just skin them. It's really good, and there's several different good farms in both Zuldazar, Nasmir, Vol'dun, and on the Alliance side as well. There are lots of good farms. You just have to go out there. Go on a tiny adventure and try to spot out some beasts and kill them. Kill them and skin them. And it's up to you if you want to do this alone or in a 5-man group, but keep in mind, the more people you are, the better the farm is. So we've kind of covered the skinning part now. Let's go over to the leatherworking part of this guide, I suppose. So with leatherworking, you pretty much have the skins you farmed with skinning, and you can choose to either sell the skins, which I do because on my server they sell really well, and the greens don't really sell that well. For example, I can sell these items right here. the materials I can sell for roughly 250 to 300 gold depending on the item. So right now this would be 250 gold. And if I make this green, then it's going to be really difficult to sell for 150. 150 gold for 1 green is really difficult to sell on my realm, so I'm making 100 gold more by selling the materials, which is easier to sell. But you have to do the math for the price of the materials and the price of greens on your realm and see if it's profitable to craft these. But then again, it has to be really profitable to make them, because if you farm tons of these materials, you'll be able to make thousands of greens. So you either have to put those up on the auction house or have a, what do you call it, a main customer that buys all of your greens, so you just mail them to him. Then it could be profitable, but you don't really want to spend hours in trade chat selling these, because if you spend 3 hours in trade chat only trying to sell greens, those are 3 hours you could spend skinning to make more profit. So it has to be really profitable to make greens. Like I would say 100 gold profit per green, and if it's not 100 gold profit per green, then it's not really worth the time. But then we can go over to the massive gold maker of leatherworking. So the biggest gold making item of leatherworking are these honorable combatants leather items. Now essentially there are 5 different items you can make. You can make gloves, arm guards, you can make leggings, you can make treads and waist guards, which is belts. Now 4 of these cost only 1 expulsum, but legs cost 3, so we're gonna disregard this one and look at the other ones, because people just pay for the item level. People don't really care how much expulsum you spend to make the item, they just want to buy this to gear up their alt character as fast as possible, so they want to buy some cheap and fast 300 item level pieces. So don't make this one unless they actually unless they have a good sell rate and they sell for a good amount of gold on your server. They pretty much have to sell for 3 times the value of these, because the value of the Tempest Hide and Calcified Bones is roughly 0 gold. Like they're worth 1 gold each, so it costs you 20 gold to make one of these. So you make your gold back by vendoring the item. But you're not vendoring, you're going to be selling these on the auction house, and on my auction house these blue items sell for roughly 1k gold each. And they also have a 10% chance, I think it's 10, but I haven't really done the math, but I usually make 10% of them proc epic. So you can check out my bags right now. These are the epic versions. They get 10 item levels to them, so they're 310. And this adds a ton on the value. So I sell some of them for 10k gold each, some for 15k gold each, some for 5k. It really depends on the stats. So this one has crit and haste. I'm going to sell this one for quite a bit, because I think that's best stats for rogues. But I'm not really sure though, but I know haste is worth a lot. And my haste and mastery ones sell for a ton as well. Crit and haste and mastery leather items sell for a ton usually. Also haste and versatility, so pretty much haste sells for a lot, and items without haste, they don't sell that much. So when it comes to these items, you usually make 5k gold, 5k to 15k if they proc. And even if they don't proc, you make 1k gold. And remember, the items you buy or you use to craft these cost you 20 gold. So the only thing you're really spending to make this is expulsum, which then again brings us back to the green items, because if you don't farm the BOEs yourself, then you have to get the expulsum from somewhere, and to get the expulsum you either have to run dungeons and get gear that way, and then scrap that gear, or you can make these green items and you can put these in the scrapper and get roughly 1 expulsum every 9 to 10 items. And you can do that with this one, so make 10 of these, should be 1 expulsum and so on. So if you don't really have any other way of getting expulsum, then definitely invest some of your leather and blood-stained bones into this and make expulsum. But then again, that depends on how much these sell for on your server, because on my server I could sell these materials for 250 gold each, and you would have to spend roughly, you're gonna have to craft 10 of these to get 1 expulsum, like on an average. And that would cost me 2.5k gold to make 1 expulsum, and I only sell these for 1k gold. So for me to make these items to use for expulsum is not worth it, because then I would lose out on 1.5k gold per expulsum, So for me, I have to farm the Expulsom somewhere else, and then what I usually do is I farm 5-man farms for BOEs or mounts, and I get some greens and I send those greens to this character. I go to Borealis and I scrap them. I don't really make any greens myself, except for tailoring when I have to, but even then it's not really worth it, so for me I have to farm them myself. But you have to check out the price on your server and what's really most profitable for you. That's all that matters, how you make most gold. So if you have to make these items to get the Expulsom and you make more gold that way, then go ahead and do that. But that's pretty much how you make gold with skinning and leatherworking, and to put a price out there, like how much you can make per hour, it's really difficult. But it depends on your realm. So on my realm, I'm just going to use my realm as the example. I play on Terracar EU Alliance, which is a medium populated server. I can make roughly 100k per hour right now. And that is after the warfront and everything. It's really difficult to make gold right now by selling gear, but I still make roughly 100k gold per hour with skinning and leatherworking. Now, what I usually do, I make roughly 70k gold per hour when I skin, and then by flipping items with leatherworking, I make roughly 30k gold per hour as well. So I just combine those into 1 hour, so I make 70k gold per hour when I skin, and then I flip the auction house for 5 minutes and make another 30k gold. And what I mean by flipping the auction house on leatherworking is I buy out all of the other honorable combatant items, the leather items, and I repost them. So I have all the items on the auction house at that moment for one certain item, and then I usually just control the price. So I can buy out every single one of these, and I repost them for twice the price, and usually half of them sells. And that way I make some profit, I make my gold back, and I have more items. And then again, the gold I make with skinning, which is, I said I make roughly 70k gold per hour with skinning, that is without counting what I make with leatherworking, because when you skin, you get tons of Tempest hides from skinning, right? And they're not really worth anything unless you craft them into leatherworking items. You can check my bank right now. I have tons of these green items, which I made them from skinning, but I haven't made them into leatherworking items yet. So even though this is only worth roughly 25k gold right now, 22k gold, because it's roughly 1 gold each, I can easily make this into items and make several 100k gold if I just have the Expulsom. So I'm counting the price of 70k gold per hour with skinning without those greens. So without crafting these items, and you have to count that in as well to this guide, because this guide is both skinning and leatherworking, and crafting the items and posting them on the auction house takes you just a couple of minutes. So you can farm for 55 minutes with skinning, and then go and craft items for 5 minutes and post them in the auction house, and then you have roughly, I don't know, 85k to 90k gold per hour, depending on your realm. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this guide, I hope it was useful to you. If it was, then leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you around. Peace.